Hello, it is the match preview. Everton versus Arsenal, 12:30 kickoff at Goodison Park. Yay.
I love the
Arsenal. After a Wednesday night game. That's not great though, is it? Come on.
I love the Arsenal.
I know, but not after a Wednesday night game. It's all right, get it out the way, but you know, you want the best you can be, and this is definitely
Does it matter?
This is not full Gillette,
Does it matter?
Does matter.
If it's 2.5 hours later.
Could be on a Sunday.
Oh, it's worse. Sunday footy.
Why did you just go full Carragher then?
Worse. That is worse. Sunday footy is worse.
Fair enough.
Come on.
Tough game. Arsenal, obviously.
Massive game, yeah.
Arsenal, obviously, second in the league. But they do have a Champions League game on Wednesday night against Real Madrid. You know, how much do you think, you know, they are looking at that game? They've lost Gabriel, he's out for the rest of the season. Timber went off injured. Saka is just coming back. How, you know, do you think Mikel Arteta will look at that situation and go, I'll leave Saka on the bench? I know he come on the other night and he scored, but I'll leave him on the bench and give him another 20 minutes or something, or do you think he'll start him for this one?
I don't think he should start him. From an Everton. No, I don't. I personally, I wouldn't start him because the Real Madrid game's is the big one. They're not going to win the league.
No.
0 chance they win the league now, really. Simply games run out of games. They blew that opportunity to win the league in January, I felt, when they didn't buy a striker. And obviously injuries of thinking Saka's brilliant, but and it's good to see him back the other night, but if you're looking at it, they've got a real tough game against Madrid. But if they get past them, they've beaten the kings of the Champions League, haven't they? And they'd be in a fantastic position to maybe go and win that. So I imagine Arteta will have one eye on that, thinking, do we want to risk it? They've seen Gabriel get injured and go off and be out for the season. Timber, like you said, has gone off injured. Did they really want to risk one of their top players going off, or maybe picking up an injury if he's not fully ready? So I think Arteta will have him on the bench for this one. Yeah.
Hopefully. I mean, they've had injury problems all season, but those problems are their own for not having a better squad. They haven't got a centre forward at the moment.
No.
But they're doing okay.
Marino scoring goals,
so they're doing okay. But it's not a functional sort of fluid system like they've had in the past. They obviously got both wide men are pacey. They've obviously got Odegaard in midfield and Declan Rice, who have obviously quality on the ball. And at the back, Saliba and Gabriel have been a brilliant partnership. But as I said, Gabriel is now injured. But you know, you're saying there, they've already got issues. If you add to those issues, and then you think, right, well, if Everton are 12, come out the blocks a little bit sore after the Merseyside derby, got to watch out for James Tarkowski. They might be thinking, do we risk it? As you said, 12 points behind. You got to weigh that up, haven't you? And go, brilliant opportunity against Real Madrid to get through. But you can't take that lightly. I mean, winning the Champions League, because if they get past Real Madrid, it opens up.
Yeah, it does.
It really opens up. This is the big one for them. And as we've seen in the last round for Real Madrid, going through on penalties, there's an opportunity there. So I just say rest all your players. Basically,
I think, listen, Arsenal, they're going to finish runners-up, aren't they? They got that, like a bendy bully. That's sorted. They'll win enough games.
Yeah.
They'll finish runners-up. They're not going to, my opinion, it's not impossible, but they're not going to overturn 12 points when there's only 8 games to play. It'd be the most ridiculous collapse of all time by Liverpool if they didn't win the Premier League. It'd be the most embarrassing slip ever if they didn't win the Premier League. It would, from this 12 points clear with 8 games to go, it would.
Sorry, the game's Tuesday, Arsenal play.
I thought Tuesday.
Tuesday, sorry.
Right, so it's even more emphasis on that. Right? So my view, they're not going to turn that round, but they will finish runners up. But this Champions League, if they were to win the Champions League, what an unbelievable achievement that would be, and it'd be the first ever one. And Arteta, what would that do for him, and the extra money and all of that? And Real Madrid are the kings of that competition. If you get past them, like you said, it opens up. So he won't want to risk it. I'm sure Mikel Arteta will think, his squad's good enough to beat Everton anyway, without Saka. So, you know, Bukayo Saka's fantastic. We know he is. So why would you risk it? And this one, for them, might be... I remember Guardiola coming to Goodison before they were playing Liverpool, and as it happened, City won that day, but they should have got back. But he was like... They were looking ahead, and Arteta was part of the staff then. He would look, or was he? He might have just left. But he was looking ahead to the Champions League game against Liverpool. And you have got to be careful. Sometimes you put all your eggs in one basket, it doesn't quite work. But I think with like 15 games to go, I think you'd still think we've got a chance of turning this round. Albeit, I just think we're running out of games, whereas this is a great opportunity. You get past Madrid, they've got a fantastic opportunity, and it'll be tough. But Madrid left 4 in the other night against Sociedad, or 3 in the Spanish Cup. So Arsenal, we've got goals.
Just go for that. Just leave this, mate. I think for Everton, we've got to get back on it, haven't we? And like, when I say that, I'm not saying like we've been amazing, but it's a while since we've won a game. We've just come off not losing
5 without a win now, isn't it?
For 9 games, but because we've drawn so many now, we've got a defeat, and we've got to try and get back on it as soon as possible, haven't we? Because we all know it's a tough month, really tough month, and if you lose another one and then you're going to Forest and then City's the next home game, suddenly you're looking at it and going, well, you know, it's important, isn't it, we get back on it straight away, and put these under as much pressure as we can, because, you know, I know a lot of us are very comfortable at the moment, like, yeah, but all right, but you want to finish strong, and you don't want to end up in that situation where you're just counting down the games, and you want to
momentum, innit?
You want to, and of course, there aren't that many games, keep on saying it, there aren't that many games left at Goodison Park, so, you know, we want to try and stay as unbeaten to the end of the season. But for me, it is that little bit of extra. If we can raise our game, we're at home, and we're going to take this to you, and make them start second guessing again. Go back to the Real Madrid game, big game on Tuesday night. Do you really want to miss that? Are you really going in for that 50-50? Are you really putting that extra little bit in? We've got to force that. We've got to make sure we make this as tough a game as possible.
Yeah, I probably a little bit stupid, but I fancy Everton on Saturday. I think Arsenal, you get to this stage of the season, priorities have got to come, they've got to come into it. I'm not saying they're going to go out and not be bothered. That's nonsense, because they're up there, but sometimes it is that thing subconsciously. We've got a huge game Tuesday night, we're not going to win the league, we're chasing something that ain't going to happen now. Liverpool keep winning games, so I think Everton will have the edge Saturday, and I think doesn't mean Everton will win. But it's a game I look at and think we've got a chance, because we can say, oh, we've just played Wednesday night, we're kicking off at 12:30, but Arsenal really want to be kicking off at 12:30 as well, and sometimes them games, the early one can catch a better team or whatever, and I think David Moyes has got the opportunity to mix it up a little bit as well, I think, and put a bit of fresh legs in.
Yeah, well, let's just have a look at the Arsenal team from the Fulham game, which they won 2-1. It is obviously, as we said there, Gabriel and Timber both went off. Lewis Skelly at left back, obviously that's pretty much their first choice. Midfield, Martinelli on one side, and I said where the Saka comes in on the right, we'll have to wait and see. But Nino's playing up front. Yeah, I mean, obviously we've got Saka as the danger man, but I said we don't know if he's going to start. Let's just have a little look at his numbers.
He is the danger man, isn't he? And you look at his, 17 games played, 6 goals, 10 assists. They've missed him. He's been out for 3 months, I think. They've missed him. 6 goals rather for next year, 4.96, and a couple of shots a game. You look quite clearly down that side. We saw Mykolenko played really well against them at the Emirates in December in that 0-0 draw, and Mykolenko just had a stormer of a game against Salah, of course, in the Merseyside derby again, and this is where Mykolenko comes into his own, when you're up against a player who it's just man for man.
So the Everton team, I mean, from the derby, it's the Saturday, let's just have a look at the team. The Saturday represents the first real opportunity to start changing
I think
some
so.
players, or is it a week early? Do you think it might be a little bit early? Obviously, better up front. Alcaraz was sort of playing on the left, but sort of wasn't. The Corey down the middle, Jack Harrison on the right. I mean, we don't expect any changes, obviously, in the back line or with Idrissa Gana Gueye and James Garner. But ahead of them, you know, the 4 positions there, there's a possibility, isn't it, of some changes now that Njai's back. We've got Brozier, we've got Chimiti. You know, with those players available, is it time for a change? Is it time to go fresh?
I think so. I think Alcaraz, for me, the Corey come out and be on the bench. Alcaraz will play off Beto. I think Njai, maybe a star for Njai. Give him an hour, see how he goes. The only problem is on the right hand side. We don't know. Lindstrom obviously missed the Merseyside derby. We're recording this for David Moyes has done his press conference, so we don't know whether he's going to be if he's missed it with an injury or he missed it with
groin strain, wasn't it?
If it's a groin strain, he's probably not going to be available then on Saturday. So I just don't think Jack Harrison works on the right. So therefore, do you do something a little bit wacky and go James Garner play there and put Irabunam in? Because Irabunam's maybe better on the ball. Or do you go almost ultra attacking? Or do you go, I'm asking myself, do you put Harrison on the left because you're not going to play in Jai yet because he's just come back, and you have Brozier on the right, and so you've got the work rate of Harrison, and you've got the attacking of Brozier on that right with obviously Beto. I think Alcaraz, you want someone on the ball who will keep it, who can travel well with the ball. The other thing, of course, he could do is put sort of Harrison on the left and Alcaraz on the right. But I think, me personally, I think it's an opportunity to throw a couple of fresh faces in and see if we've got something. We can ask Arsenal some other problem, give them some other issues to worry about. That isn't just the same Jack Harrison on the right where it doesn't really work. When Alcaraz plays on the left, he tucks right in because that's where he wants to be in the game, but then that exposes, you know, Michalenko to just. So I think Moyes has got a
I think also 2 games in the space of that time as well. You need to start moving around, don't you? You need to start freshening it and start looking at different players.
He might rest Beto and put Brozier through the middle. You know, he's got options now which he didn't have. You know, the other night we saw him bring 3 on Ashley Young. Obviously Ashley Young's an option on the right as well if you were worried about Martinelli with the pace. You might want to block it off to start with and freshen it up. But I do think there's a case for him to put a couple of different players in just to give it a little bit of a refresh. Yeah. And also to energise the fans as well, especially if you're starting like a Brozier and maybe Njai, then that really does energise the fan base.
No, I think it definitely needs something different. I don't know whether Njai, you would say, suppose it'd be his reaction to playing.
Yeah, it could be too early for him.
And he did look pretty rusty, but Brozier he's come back. He's played international games and he's come on the other night. Might be a time that he gets a start, and then it's Carlos Alcaraz through the middle, as you said, and it could be a case of swapping Jack Harrison over back onto the left. He's better
on the left, isn't he? Yeah. Let's be honest. On the right, he's limited. So on the left, he's better. But
I just think in general it needs freshening up a little bit because, as I said, the same players have been playing every week, and we're looking for wins. We're looking for something a little bit different. Would it be any worse? Well, only in a fitness way would it be worse. I think you've got Carlos Alcaraz through the middle, and changing it round a little bit and having some players who people would call more of footballer, certainly with a Brozier, and some players benefit from starting games, don't they? They come on and they don't get up to speed.
The manager's got to give some of these players the opportunity to impress as well. And Brozier's one who looks like he'll go back to Chelsea, but then if he starts getting some games and does really well, there might be a conversation to have for another loan. So, there's options. I personally will freshen it up a little bit because I think it needs it. And I think we have just played a tough game at Anfield, obviously 96 minutes, whatever it was. With the first half, it was like...
Well, a lot of it wasn't with the ball.
Exactly. So, and I imagine Arsenal have most of the ball Saturday, so you've also got to factor that in. But, mix it up a little bit, give them something to think about. It'll be a tough game, it will. But, like I said, Arsenal, if I'm an Arsenal fan, my priorities are lying next Tuesday. Not saying they're going to go out, doesn't matter Saturday, I'm not saying that, but in terms of what's more important, Real Madrid's more important because the league has gone. You know?
We need a fast start, don't we? I think that's important. I think we need to come off the blocks early. Don't let them settle.
Yeah.
And again, not without doing a Toffee. Just be strong. Be make sure they know that it's not going to be an easy day for them, and that they're going to have to put everything in. And
the one thing we've done under David Moyes, he's had 11 games, hasn't he? And the one thing we've done really well under him is being competitive in every game. We got beat 1-0 by Villa. He'd only had the team for a day, and we should have got something out the game. We had 3 really good chances in that, and they nicked that one. And against Liverpool, we've hit a post. We've had a goal disallowed at 0-0. Their goal was offside.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, Toffee could have been down to 10 men, of course, and should have been probably. But what I'm trying to say is the 2 defeats we've had in those 11 have been narrow defeats.
Yeah. And
in the other games, we've been competitive. We blew the United game. It was the easiest game we've had all season. We blew it. And Brentford, we missed sitters at. Okay, we went great at Wolves. But so every game we've been in it, and I think we'll give Arsenal a really good game Saturday.
And as I said before, let's get back to picking up results. I know it's only one defeat, but let's get back to picking up results because we don't want this month to be one of them where you're looking at it and suddenly it's run away from you. Yeah. Don't want that at all. It would be really difficult.
It's a good time to play Arsenal. That's all I'd say. They've been fabulous. They've had some great teams over the last few years. And games have been difficult, but we have done well again. We have beat them when they've got a better team than they've got this Saturday. So this is a good time to play. We've got an opportunity to beat them. Doesn't mean we will. They could turn up and click and batter us. But I think Everton have got a good opportunity with the circumstances. And obviously Gabriel's huge miss for them because he's fantastic. Him and them two as a pair are brilliant, aren't they? So let's go out and give it everything, and we can definitely get a result.
Yeah, let's just get stuck in, but without stuck.
Legally.
There you go. Let us know your thoughts in the comments on this one. Yeah, I mean it's a tough game. It's a tough game, but it's just about us rising up to it, isn't it? Right, the target. I know. Just go and get 3 points. Yeah, simple.
Let's do it.
Go get a win.
They don't need it. They're sorted. They're safe.
Champions League.
They've got Champions League again next year.
If I was Jack Harrison, I'd just keep whispering the fullback's ear.
That might anger him.
No, it won't. It'll be like, oh God. Need to save some energy.
Tell you what, save your energy for Mbappe. Don't worry about today. He's a safe.
Vinny Junior.
He's a safe. You're in the Champions League next year.
Go on. Thomas Krabs. Oh no, he doesn't play for me now.
He's gone. He's gone. Very much gone. Next year be quoting Morientes.
There you go. Give this video a like. Subscribe if you haven't already. Listen, we're like 1,500 away from 100,000. Less than it. The 100,000. Just get us over the line. Just get us over that line. Why wouldn't you?
Good lads.
I'm sure you've already subscribed.
Of course they have. If you're an Arsenal fan, no, we love Don Robbie, so go ahead.
Burner accounts.
It's happening.
There you go. Right, make sure you give the dislike and all the other stuff.
Subscribe,
make
comment,
sure you watch my Start 11 show and all that stuff. And if you want more, join us over on Toffee TV Premier. See you later.